So there's been a whole slew of hit pieces on Zack Polanski, but I think this may be the funniest. It's Zia Yusuf and his attempt at smearing and misrepresenting Zack Polanski in his positions. And he does it in such an obvious way that who's convinced by this? This is going to just make more people like and support Zack Polanski. Let's get straight into the video because this is really funny.
This is Zack Polanski, aka the Breast Whisperer.
Who came to you and said, "Can you make my breast bigger through hypnotherapy?" And you said yes, and gave it a go.
Yes, Zack is a
Don't let him explain. Just bad faith. Obviously bad faith. Don't let him explain the context of what happened. And he apologized for it. And it was a silly thing for him to do. But I think this makes him human. The idea that this is all they have. This is the first line of attack. This is what they have on Zack Polanski. A silly article about hypnotism from about 15 years ago. That's amazing. That's all they have. That's literally all they have, which is a nothing burger. Amazing, really.
43-year-old hypnotist who has tried to grow the size of women's breasts by hypnotizing them. He's also the leader of the Green Party, who are now...
Oh, I love it. I really want them to just keep talking that, because who thinks like this is like, oh God, I can't vote for someone who wrote a silly article like 13 years ago. No, cost of living. He's focused on cost of living. He's going to tax wealth. No, he's too flawed for me.
the second most popular party in the country. So it's kind of important you know what other insane things this man believes. Zack believes that this country should have no borders whatsoever.
Oh, okay, let's actually look at what it actually says. So the Green Party wants to see a world without borders, which is a socialist position, a idea that borders are a human construct, that they divide people, they cause often more problems than they solve. And until this happens, which probably isn't going to happen in our lifetime, this is a long-term project. Like, leftists like to think in terms of the long term, hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. Until this happens, the Green Party will implement a fair and human system of managed immigration. So we are managing the numbers. So they have to strawman say, "Oh, it's open borders." No, that's not realistic, is it? There's a limit to the amount of immigrants, migrants, asylum seekers we can take, but we have to base that on evidence. What we can take, what we need: 150,000 NHS jobs. We need people to come in. We have an aging population. We need a practical, pragmatic immigration. That's it. They don't like that, though. They don't like the idea that we need immigration and we benefit from it. So where people can move if they wish to do so. Freedom, the freedom argument, which is people like moving. They like moving around. You know, they maybe live in the country for a few years. They come home. Maybe they go. Beautiful. Freedom is a beautiful idea, but reform or anti-freedom.
Whatsoever. Not more immigration or more asylum. This guy literally wants Britain to have no borders at all. He wants...
Yes, in the future, but that isn't happening right now. That's not their policy of like, oh, like, that doesn't work. Like, dissolve Great Britain. No, it's a future where we're not divided based on, we're one planet at the end of the day. We're one people, we're one race, the human race. And it's better to actually cooperate and work together than constantly be warring on basis of ethnicity, nationality, and gender, race. Let's just work in a common interest for all of us. Because when we do that, it benefits everybody. Common sense, really.
to stand down and destroy Britain's nuclear deterrent while Vladimir Putin marauds through Ukraine. And when...
Why would you mention Putin when Nathan Gill has just been given 10.5 years for admitting to taking briberies from Russia? I mean, they're not talking about it. Farage hasn't spoke about it. Why would you mention Russia? Not really a good look right now, since the reform Party are traitors to the country. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is. Traitorous behavior.
Challenged on this, he simply said he would ask Vladimir Putin nicely to give up his weapons.
Did he say that? Are they going to put the quote in? Let's see if they actually put what he said in.
Too.
I want to see everyone denuclearize, including Vladimir Putin.
I'm laughing at the idea that Vladimir Putin is going to give up his nuclear weapons because somebody asks him to.
He didn't say that, though. I covered that clip. He said it's very unlikely that's happened, but we can't just discount that notion that in the future that could be a possibility, and we have to incentivize and create that world. Plenty of countries have denuclearized, and the idea that it can never happen, yes, it's unlikely, and it may not happen in our lifetime, but the idea that we don't try is weird, isn't it? And that favors the Russian puppets, because Farage has links to Russia. And again, Nathan Gill, you vote for reform, you're voting for Russia.
To legalize all drugs and outlaw landlords. So in Zack Polanski's Britain, it is legal to sell crack cocaine, heroin and fentanyl, but illegal to rent your flat out. And if you object...
Again, another straw man. Not illegal, but just incentivizing social housing and discouraging the idea that landlords can just act as parasites on people who work hard and just give half of their wage to a landlord. Let's not have a system where people, again, spend most of their wages, a good proportion of their wage, on paying someone else's mortgage. Let's build affordable housing. Let's reject the notion that landlordism, because most people don't like landlords. They see that it's an unfair and kind of weird, kind of draconian, strange thing. Let's build housing. If you're patriotic about British people, you want them to get on. Affordable housing is a key tenet of that.
to any of his policies, he very reasonably simply calls you a fascist.
Fascism.
Again, no. If you hold fascist beliefs, and us versus them mentality that somehow the native population is superior and uniquely different to people from outside countries. No. People are people. Whether you live in Uganda, Eritrea, Britain, if you come here, you contribute, you should be welcomed. I mean, it's such a straw man, isn't it? Like, no, you don't know. No. Very specific about the tendencies, the language, the us versus them, the strongman leadership, the division, the scapegoating. Very precise use of the word fascism. But they don't like it because they don't understand fascism and this historical and sociological tendencies that fascism is. It's not an individual ideology. It's a reaction to inequality and the failures of capitalism, which Zia Yusuf and Nigel Farage capitalize on. Like, argue the point. If you're not a fascist, argue the point. Argue your egalitarian credentials. Argue that, actually, you do believe in equal rights for all people. But they don't. So, yes, they are fascists.
Fascism.
In short,
Yeah, just no context. Just him saying the word fascism. It's a scary, hurty word, isn't it? I thought they weren't concerned about hurty words. But they can't make the argument. I mean, this is just so bad faith. It's just silly. I mean, it's not serious. And this is why he's done this, because they are terrified. They're rattled by Zack Polanski and his popular policies that even are attractive to a lot of reform voters. They're scared.
Zack is a lunatic, and such has been the demise of the Tories and Labour that he's currently in second place. So if you think Britain...
Yeah, exactly. Popular. So he is terrified. Like, these ideas are popular. How about you can afford your housing? How about we tax the wealthy? How about we actually try and maybe stop the war in Ukraine? How about we don't spend £15 billion on Trident? How about we challenge the status quo and maybe not just bow down to the wealthy elite who tell us that immigration is the biggest problem? How about we embrace freedom for all, not just a small amount of wealthy people at the top who can live wherever they want. They can live wherever they want. Immigration's fine for them. I mean, this guy is the son of son of immigrants, but different rules for him. Different rules for him, obviously.
Should have borders, should enforce them, and indeed deport people who are here illegally.
Yes, they believe that. Zack Polanski believes in the rule of law. If you're here illegally, deport. It's not even controversial. Zack Polanski believes. I believe that. You're here illegally. Bye bye. You're breaking the law. I mean, common sense.
If you want a strong British military, including a formidable deterrent, if you don't want Britain to become the world's biggest crack den, then please.
No evidence, just a feeling-based argument like, oh, if you legalize and regulate drugs, that it will proliferate drugs. Well, no, we've actually seen the opposite. Jimmy the Giant did a really great video on it. Like, drugs have become stronger and more prominent because of prohibition. So let's do something different. The war on drugs over the last 50 years has failed unequivocally. How about we listen to the medical experts and try something different based on data and facts? But they don't like that. They're anti-intellectual, essentially. They are anti-data, anti-evidence, anti-medical consensus.
Don't be like Zack. Go to reformparty.uk and join us.
What's that voice like the king? Don't be like Zack. Join the Reform Party. Oh my God. I enjoyed this. Keep them coming. Keep the hit pieces coming. They make Zack stronger. They're funny. They're straw men, misinformation, and personal attacks. They really have very little on him. The article he wrote about, increasing breast size. That's all they have. That's all they have. Which, it's a silly article. He shouldn't have written it. But that's pretty pathetic. That's your strongest attack line. Popular policies that, are exciting people. 170,000 members and counting. So if you want to join the resistance of fascism, if you haven't already joined, join the Green Party, hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next video.